Now we continue with the gathering points. Lung 9, supreme abyss. Lung 9 is located on the ventral aspect of the wrist at the level of the wrist joint space, most distal wrist crest, on the radial aspect of the radial artery and ulnar to the tendon of the abductor pollicis longus muscle. How to find? As the location of the wrist crest varies, the ventral joint space between the proximal row of the carpals and the radius ulna is a more reliable landmark for orientation. By loosely moving the hand, the joint space is easily palpable. Palpate the radial artery, pulsation on the radial side, and locate lung 9 on its radial aspect. Located on the same level are PCs 7 between the two tendons and heart 7 radial to the insertion of the tendon of the flexor carpi ulnaris on the pisiform bone. Needling vertically 0.2 to 0.5 June. Caution is to avoid the radial artery. If the needle is pulsating, the side effect, no additional stimulation. For the action and indication, lung 9 strengthens the lung, transforms phlegm, descends the lung qi, regulates and harmonizes the vessel, relationship between song qi and blood circulation. Lung 9 opens the channel and alleviates pain. For the special features, Yuan-Source point, Shu-Stream point, earth point, tonification point, meeting point of the vessels, important point for tonifying the lung qi and yin, especially with chronic disorders. This is another major point of the lung channel. It is the main point to tonify lung qi and lung yin, especially in chronic conditions. Being the source and tonification point, it is eminently suited to tonify the lung in deficiency conditions. We use it more frequently in deficiency rather than excess pattern and for interior rather than exterior conditions. However, as its indications show, it can be used also for excess patterns. It is also used to resolve phlegm, obstructing the lungs, but in chronic more than acute cases with such symptoms as chronic cough with sticky sputum. The chest is the seat of gathering qi, the song qi, which is closely related to lungs and heart. Lung 9 tonifies the gathering qi of the chest and can be used in patients who are particularly qi deficient, suffer from cold hands, and have a weak voice. These last two are signs of deficiency of gathering qi. When tonifying gathering qi, lung 9 is often combined with Ren 17. Okay, lung 9 is also indicated when all the pulses are extremely weak and deep and nearly impossible to feel. An indication that is related to its function of controlling all blood vessels described below. Lung 9 is the gathering point of all the blood vessels. The classic of difficulties in chapter 1 says the inch mouth, the front position of the pulse corresponding to lung 9 is the great meeting place of all the blood vessels, and the lungs give impetus to the lungs. The front position of the pulse is considered the convergence point of all the blood vessels of the body, and for this reason, the acupuncture point on its site, lung 9, is said to influence all the blood vessels and the pulse. It is because of this nature that we feel the pulse on the radial artery, which overlies the lung channel. It is not by chance that this position was chosen as the best place to feel the pulse. It is because the lung governs qi, and one can therefore feel the movement of qi within the blood as this position. Lung 9 can therefore influence all blood vessels and can be used for poor circulation, cold hands and feet, chilblain, and varicose veins. The lungs' influence on the blood vessel is a further expression of the close relationship existing between the lungs and heart. The lungs govern qi, the heart controls blood, and they mutually affect each other. Lung 9 tonifies lung qi and stimulates the circulation of heart qi and blood in the chest. It is therefore also used to tonify heart qi and blood indirectly in such symptoms as breathlessness on exertion, listlessness, and palpitation. Finally, lung 9 can be used to clear lung and liver heat in cases where liver fire overflows towards the chest, obstructing the descending of lung qi. Okay, for the summary, lung 9, for the exterior problems, for excess patterns, has an outward movement and affects qi. For the lung 9, for interior problems, for deficiency pattern, has an inward movement, affects qi and blood. Lung 7 for channel problems, better for emotional problems, good for acute conditions, opens water passages, affect bladder. For the lung 9, not so much for channel problems, not so much for emotional problems, more for chronic conditions, does not open water passages, does not affect the bladder. For the summary of functions, lung 9 tonifies lung qi and lung yin, resolves phlegm from the lungs in chronic cases, tonifies gathering qi and therefore lungs and heart. Lung 9 affects all blood vessels. Thank you for your attention.